Hi guys, okay, I'm back at it again. So I just wanted to show you something. I've been working on an environmental monitoring system for a certain organization. So this is an automation that does environmental monitoring, especially in the tourism sector. Okay, so now this is a very sophisticated automation, and it does a lot of things with 99, let me just say 95% accuracy in terms of results. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So it's an automation. So now this automation, it works with any large language model, whether ChatGPT, whether Queen, whether DeepSeek. It will still work. Okay, but I designed it using Gemini. So obviously, using it in Gemini comes with a lot of perks. Okay, so let me just activate it, and then I do a few demonstrations so that you guys see what it's capable of. Okay, so let me just get the prompt so you can follow along. You can copy the prompt. The link is in the description. Obviously, this is not the original prototype. Okay, the one I built for the organization is just for demonstration purposes, so that you guys can see what's possible, and it still works. You can use it, but it's a basic version. Let me just say this is a basic version. Okay, so let me just paste it in here, and then we use it and show you guys what it's capable of. All right, okay, so as you can see, I've pasted it in to Gemini, and then it's going to activate, and then we're going to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has activated. Okay, so here it's saying, as you can see, there's a greeting saying, welcome to the environmental monitoring system. Okay, I analyze environmental data across 5 dimensions: spatial, temporal, model, social, cultural, and governance, systematic, and scenario. Choose an option or describe. So as you can see, you can choose an option from these 5 dimensions. Okay, so you can choose one, or you can describe what you need, and it will guide you step by steps. Okay, so options, as you can see here, it's saying I analyze specific event, e.g. check air quality after industrial accident near city. Okay, they can see here it's saying last week, so that's the time frame. Here, so it also does monitor a long-term trend. For example, assess deforestation rates in the Amazon over the past 5 years. Propose a solution. So it can also propose a solution. Let's say you have a problem related to environmental things, so you can say, how do I go about this, and it will propose a solution. Okay, so this system, this automation right here, it's very sophisticated, and it does a lot. Okay, what I'm going to show here is, let me say, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. Okay, this thing does so much. Okay, because we've tried it, and the results are just are over the charts. Okay, so you're saying it can propose a solution. Okay, what interventions and everything else. Okay, so among the 5 dimensions, I'm going to choose spatial. Okay, what's very important as you go about this is that the more accurate, what's very important when you're using this automation, let me emphasize, is the data. So you need to have accurate data. Okay, because everything it does, all the calculations, all the simulations it does, is based on the data you provided. Okay, so let me just choose one here. Let me just say I'm going to go with the spatial dimension. Okay, so I'm going to go with a spatial. So we're going to analyze for instance, let's say Lusaka. Okay, so as you can see, it's saying phrase row user text. This is only providing dimensional the dimension spatial and no specific content. So building 5, so here as you can see, head node. So this is more like its thinking process. Okay, it thinking out loud, like what it's going to do, what's doing behind the scenes. So it is like, as you can see here, it's saying number 2, build 5D framing. So it's going to say it's going to build a framing. So as you can see here, spatial, not specified. As you can see, I haven't given it the location to say this is where we're going to do the spatial environmental monitoring, let's say Lusaka or anything. So as you can see, it says needs location, city, region, or coordinates, and scale. Is it local, regional, or global? So here's temporal. It's also not specified. As you can see, once I provide the data here, it's going to turn from not specified to specified, meaning that field or that data has been provided. Okay, so here as you can see, not specified. Even this here, not specified. Okay, so as you can see, so here is it's now explaining the thinking process. Okay, so this is not just like a magic. It's also going to tell you how it's thinking. Okay, that's how I designed it. I designed it in a way, but it thinks out loud and it's able to show you what it's thinking, and you can able to correct it to say, okay, here in your thinking process, this is what you did and this is not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it in this way. Let's say you're an expert, okay, or you're working with experts, okay, or you have some knowledge. You can be able to say, okay, you can do a course correction to tell it, say this is where it's supposed to go. So okay, so here it's saying, as you can see, it thinking out loud, it's saying I understand. Okay, so it's saying I understand that you wish to initiate an environmental analysis focusing specifically on the spatial dimension. Okay, so as you can see here, it's now explaining this requires me to determine the geographical area and scale of the analysis. Okay, and scale of the analysis currently set to general environmental health assessment in the present time frame using various data types. Okay, so as you can see, it's saying missing option inputs. Okay, so missing rather, so crucial here location, as it said above. So what I'm going to do here is so as you can see here, it's even saying is this correct? If not, correct or add more details. If correct, proceed type, or type proceed rather. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide it with a document about just a random document about the rainfall patterns in Zambia. Okay, and then I'm also going to tell you, okay, analyze Lusaka and what's going to happen in, let's say, the next 5 years based on this data, and you're going to see what's going to happen. Okay, so let me just paste in the documentation and then give it the direction in which it's supposed to go. Okay, so here I'm going to say Lusaka. Okay, Lusaka, and then it's going to do Lusaka. The time frame is going to be future, and then it's going to focus on reports and then governance. Okay, so here I'm going to say Lusaka. Okay, so let me just say so Lusaka, that's the spatial aspect of it, and then the time frame is going to be future. Okay, like what's going to happen based on the data. Okay, and then the focus is going to be on the reports, because the document I'm going to paste in here it's a report document. Okay, so it's going to focus on reports. Okay, So now this you're supposed to use it as more like let's say a department, or let's say, or rather let me just say an institution. Let's say it's supposed to treat it, this automation is supposed to treat, let's say, like an institution that specifically focuses on environmental things. Okay, for instance, in Zambia we have Zema. So let me say this, you can use it as Zema. Okay, you can interact with it as if you're at Zema, and knowing that at Zema they have experts on different fields when it comes to environmental things. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to use this automation as well. Okay, so let me just show you. Okay, so it reports, and then it's going to the affected institution is going to be, or the culture aspect of it is going to be about governance. Okay, so now you can put anything, it can be political, religious, anything. Okay, so it's going to be about governance. Okay, it's going to be about governance. Okay, and then after this and then what you have to do is you have to ground it. Okay, you have to ground it, and by that you have to limit its scope. So here I'm going to command it to say everything should be based on the data I've provided, meaning it won't add in anything that's not in the data, or it won't do analysis about anything which is not included in the data. Everything is going to be grounded based on the data provided. Okay, so that's what I'm going to tell it here. Okay, so as you can see, the location is going to be Lusaka, future, and everything else. Okay, like I've said, and then this is the data about rainfall patterns in Zambia. So now let me just send it in, and then we're going to see what's going to happen, what's going to do. Okay, the analysis and the guidance and everything else it's going to give. All right. So as you can see, I understand your request as an analysis of the rainfall forecast for the 2024-2025 season, specifically for Lusaka. So this, as you can see here, this is the name of the document I provided. So that's why it's going to draw everything. That's why it's going to pick all the data and everything else. Okay, as you can see, that's the name of this data set I have provided it. Okay, so so here it's saying, for specifically for Lusaka, the analysis will focus on the governance and management implications of the forecast, using information exclusively from the uploaded report. Okay, specifically, so everything is going to be based on the report, as you can see here. So here, missing optional input. So here there's missing. So governance focus. So is it water management policies, disaster, or agriculture? Okay, so these are some of the things it needs you to specify, or rather me in this situation. Okay, and then the other thing is specific scenario. Okay, is it impact of urban infrastructure response to delayed onset? Okay, and then assumption here, critical. I'll assume the analysis aims to, so it's saying I'll assume the analysis aims to interpret the forecast risks, e.g. flooding for Lusaka, and link them to the relevant governance bodies recommendations within the report scope. Is this correct? So here it's saying it's more like trying to really understand what we're trying to do here. So here it's saying, it's asking, saying, is it correct? Okay, if not, add details. If correct, type proceed. Okay, so here I'll just type proceed. Okay, or let me just say for governance, I'll say agricultural support. So for governance, I'll say agricultural support for governance. Okay, and then scenario, impact of urban, and then I'm going to pick here, I'll just say randomly, I'm going to pick response to delayed onset. If you're Zambian, you know that in Zambia we've been having a delayed onset of the rains. Okay, yeah. And then assumption critical, assume they focus on risk, e.g. flooding. Okay, yeah. Also just, so here this is just a demonstration. I'm just randomly picking this, okay, just to demonstrate to you guys what this can do, okay, and its capabilities. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so now it's building a 5D frame. So as you can see, the spatial is Lusaka, local province scale, time frame future is going to be 2024-2025 lens season. Okay, model reports Zambia. Okay, and then social cultural governance, so focus on agriculture support and disaster response. Okay, systematic and scenarioing for focus impact assessment on the specific scenarios of drought onset and flooding risk in Lusaka. Okay, so as you can see, it's saying understand the request as focused and everything else. Okay, missing inputs query. The query is fully specified within the bounds of the provided data. Okay, so here I'm just going to say proceed, so that it proceeds now to do the work. Okay, so I'll just say proceed. Okay, so as you can see, this is what it's going to do. So this is the pipeline. So senior disaster synthesizer, so this is more like the rows is going to take in order to do this. Okay, and then after that, so it's going to synthesize, as you can see here, it's going to synthesize the data. After that, it's going to do a modeling and prediction specialist, and then after that, it's going to go to the as you can see here, social policy contextualizer, and then lastly, it's going to do a risk and response advisor. Okay, shared context initialization. So here the shared context is 2024 info. As you can see, this is what I provided. Okay, so now as you can see, everything here, everything it's using is based on the document I provided. As you can see, here's the links. Okay, so this link, if I click on it, take me back to that very document I provided, meaning everything is accurate based on the document. This is not just random data. As you can see, it's even specifies, when I hover here, it specifies to say I'm getting this data, or I'm getting this information from page 6. So as you can see, it's even naming the page from where it's getting the information. As you can see, this one is from page 6, the other one is from page 4 from the document I provided. This is not just random data, no. Okay, this one is from page 4 and then the other one is from page 3. Okay, so now let's see what it's doing. Okay, so now so this is what it's doing. All this as you can see, it's doing a lot right here. It hasn't even started like doing the analysis of everything. It's just mapping out its thinking process. If you remember, I said it's able to show you its thinking process. So as you can see here, this is its thinking process. So you can go through this thinking process to say on this step in this row. So for example, in the row here, the first row is the senior data synthesizer. So you can say when you're synthesizing the data, I don't agree to this thinking process how you did it, so can we go in this direction, and it will be able to follow that. And if you give it a wrong direction, which it's not supposed to follow, to tell you no, this is not the industry best practice when it comes to environmental monitoring or anything of that nature. Okay, so as you can see here, it's going to interpret the query through the 5 dimensions and analyze the provided report for rainfall trends onset. Okay, as you can see, so that's everything there. Okay, so this, as you can see, this is not just it generating some random report or anything. It also needs you to be there to actively giving input. And the most important part about this, when I was designing it, I made sure it shows you its thinking process. Okay, normally when you're working with automations, they just give you the answer without you knowing how they came about that. But in this, it's showing you how it did everything it did, so that you can understand. Okay, you understand. It's more like having an actual person with you, whereby you're watching them do what they're doing, and you can do course correction. Okay, as you can see here, so here's technical summary due to and everything else. Okay, as you can see, all this is it. Okay, so now at the point, so this is the prediction. So Lusaka rainfall forecast 2025, normal to above rainfall. Okay, so based on the data, as you can see here, like I said, everything is even the pages from where it's getting the information. Okay, so here is excuse me, the confidence about the rainfall is about 85%. Assumes existing drainage infrastructure is insufficient for above normal. So as you can see, it's even based on the data, because it's very the data I gave it, it's from a government organization, so it's very dense data. It even has data about Lusaka drainage system, so all that is taken into context as it's doing this. So as you can see, assumes existing drainage infrastructure is sufficient for normal, for above normal episodes. Okay, so if it's a government institution doing this, it means, so this is a call for more drainages in the city. Okay, yeah, as you can see, here there's more. So if you want, you can export to Google Sheets and everything else. Okay, so as you can see here, ranked action. So there's urgent, immediate, to Lusaka, DMMU, the police, for to mobilize resources, e.g. sandbags and everything else. Okay, so as you can see, this is very diverse and dense. Okay, this is an automation that literally works wonders. Okay, it's able to do an organization's work in half the time with half the resources. By resources I mean manpower, equipment and everything else. Okay, as you can see, so that's it. Okay, so as you can see, it's asking, do you want an exclusive summary, technical, stakeholder brief, visual? So I just say yes. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is just a tip of the iceberg. Obviously it can do more than this. Okay, as you can see, I'm just trying to demonstrate to you guys what this automation I created, its capabilities and what it's able to do. And the time it's able to save you. So this here it levels the playing field when it comes to environmental analysis between African countries and these developed countries, because when you look at the past, what's been happening is that mostly we have the data, but the challenge has been that we don't have the skill or the expertise to process that data and use it. Okay, so mostly you have to hire experts to come through, and or you have to wait for maybe the World Bank or these large institutions to come through and analyze your data and give you solutions based on that data, or how you can utilize that data. But with this automation right here, there's no need for that. Okay, this is better than having an, let's say, so-called industry expert, because a large language model like Gemini obviously has read all the books about environmental actions and anything related to environmental. Okay, Gemini has obviously has that information, has read all those books, all the reports. Okay, so meaning this is next level answers or solutions or results or advice you're going to get from this, and it's accurate. Why is it accurate? Is because everything it does, it draws from the data you provided. It based on your data set. It is based on your input. As you can see here, everything, it's even naming the pages where it's getting the information from. So this is not just something random. Okay, so here it's even saying, so here are the assumptions it has. So you can even correct to say, okay, no, this assumption is wrong. For example, here it's saying assumptions yield elasticity to shorten season. Okay, as you can see, so this is its thinking process. So here it's the second system structure, pipeline expanded. Okay, so head node system and everything else. So here, so this is how it's processing the data. So head node is where we started from. Okay, you put it as input, you give it your input, that input goes to the system raw, senior or data synthesizer and everything else. Okay, as you can see. So now let me show you. So this is in Gemini. Remember what I said, that use it in Gemini comes with a lot of perks. So let's try it in another large language model, and we're going to do the same steps. Everything's going to be the same. We are going to use the same data set and everything else. Okay, so it's just for me to prove to you that this actually works in any large language model out there. Okay, so let's go to ChatGPT and see what we are going to get from ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm going to paste it into ChatGPT, but with ChatGPT, the caveat is that it doesn't really show the thinking process behind its actions the same way Gemini does it. Okay, so we're just going to follow the same steps we took in ChatGPT. So here we said Lusaka rainfall and everything else. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so first we have to specify. Okay, so here we're going to say spatial. Okay, so spatial is what we are going for. All right, so we're going to go for spatial, and then after that, well, we specified the location and give it the data set. So we're going to do the same thing here, specify the location and also give it the data set where it's going to get its context, and everything else. Okay, so that's the data set right here. We've uploaded it, and then we'll see what we're going to get with ChatGPT. Okay, this is how I understand your request. So here ChatGPT is explaining how it understands what we want to do. So here it's saying you want a 5D environmental intelligence analysis for Lusaka 2024-2025 rainfall outlook using only the official Zambia Meteorological Department forecast report you provided. Okay, as you can see, even in ChatGPT, like we gave it a command here, it's emphasized to say only, using only the official Zambia Meteorological Department forecast report. Excuse me. So the focus is on future rainfall patterns, governance implications, and seismic risks. No external or online data will be used. Okay, very important, so that we have accurate information. So here the 5D, so special is going to be Lusaka, temporal October 2024 to March 2025. Excuse me. Forecast season. Okay, so the model here is going to be textual geographical data from the official rainfall PDF. Okay, no satellite or sensor data, but if you have satellite or sensor data, you can also provide it. For example, here excuse me, if I had sensory or satellite data, I would have provided everything here at once so that it analyzes everything in one batch, but I don't have that, and this is only for demonstration purposes. Okay, but it's, you can provide all the data you have over here. Okay, very important. All right, so as you can see, oh, this is the framing and everything else, any local adaptation plans, or okay, so this is what ChatGPT is able to do. Okay, so as you can see, if this framing is correct, please type proceed to continue to the system orchestrator stage. If you want to adjust focus the agriculture versus infrastructure impact, please clarify before proceeding. Okay, so as you can see, it still works even in ChatGPT, any large language model. Okay, so now this is very important, because there's no need to hire experts. No, you can hire experts, but the number, let's say instead of you hiring 5 experts, you're just going to hire 1, and that expert is going to work along with this automation or simulation. Okay, or simulation, so that you have more with less. Like you just give, you put in less but you get more. Okay, because with this, the real secret is you are going to, you have a new lever with which to adjust time. That's in that, meaning you can do more in less time, meaning productivity increases. And this is only specifically for the environmental sector. Okay, so this, because it's an environmental monitoring system. Okay, so this is for sectors like tourism, especially tourism, to be able to utilize this. Before AI, you had to hire an expertise, you can only hire more people or charge, but you couldn't scale that. But with this, you can scale it, meaning you can scale it in terms of, you can, this automation, you can give it to all departments in different locations, and they'll be able to do the work instead of waiting for the expert to go from one location to the other. Everything will be done simultaneously at the same time. That's the perks that come with this. Okay, so there's a lot, as you can see. This is just a tip of the iceberg of what this is able to do. Okay, this is a game changer. If you work in the tourism industry, you know how hard it is to do such analysis and come up with such conclusions. Okay, not just in conclusion, but accurate conclusion based on data. Ask anyone who's in the environmental monitoring sector or tourism, they'll tell you how hard this is. Okay, so yeah, so this is the automation I've developed. I just wanted to show you guys or you who are in the environmental monitoring sector, tourism, you'll be able to utilize this. Okay, you can check the link in the description. I have a prompt, you can download it and use it however you want. All right, yeah, you can download it and use it however you wish. So that's it. If you have questions, you can drop them in the link in the description and are able to respond.